Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here. This time reviewing on issue 2 of the Trials of Shazam. Now, as you know, the Trials of Shazam is meant to be a 12-part series that is meant to feature Billy Batson passing on the mantle of Captain Marvel onto Freddy. And the story is meant to take place after Infinite Crisis, where we did see a lot of after effects from the story, like Shazam's death, the after effects of the team, and so on. And the cover has Freddy basically looking on as Captain Marvel bestows him his powers. Now we are introduced to basically Freddy's origin, to how him and his grandfather were fishing, being attacked by a villain, eventually coming to with his leg broken, with Freddy basically being made Captain Marvel's sidekick and becoming Captain Marvel Jr. And we've seen him now much older, and him saying, "I'm sorry that you don't think it's a good idea." Good idea, Freddy? You can't just withdraw from college. Actually, I can, and you know I did. And you can tell his girlfriend isn't happy that he's throwing away his future, and we see how a reckless cyclist bumps Freddy away, and him falling to the ground. And basically, her wanting to sort of meet up at a cafe to talk things over. And you can tell she figures out that he's going to the hospital to see Mary, and we see how Mary's in critical condition. Now, in the pre- and post-crisis comics, Mary was the sister of Billy Batson. Now, in the New 52, she's meant to be Billy's foster sister, and at one point was known as Mary Marvel, and was fighting a dangerous kind of harpy until her powers were stripped, leaving her to fall into a watery death, but managing to survive. And we see how Freddy wished everything could go back to normal, wished he could just wake up and think everything was just over. And even mentions about how a lot of these magical creatures have been showing up, and wishes that he could have his powers again, and sometimes feels like the Thunderbolt could come down any moment, but knows that Shazam's gone, and the world is in utter turmoil, until being called away. We see how Freddy finds that the Rock of Eternity has got some new digs. And we see how Billy Batson's now made the new wizard, saying, "I think you mean, oh my gods. Welcome back to the Rock of Eternity, Freddy." And we kind of see how he points out that about everything that's gone on, and even Freddy points out the monsters being Lovecraft on steroids out there, but he mentions that after his powers were stripped, others as well, and him becoming the new wizard, and now it's time for him to choose a successor, which he chooses Freddy, and him saying, "I had to grow up. I am everything that Captain Marvel was, and I am everything that Shazam was fused with." And he even mentions that he'll need training, and that everything is now changed, and that this is a different ball game for him, and mentions about meeting his new teacher, which is in a rundown area, and turns out the person's name is Sabrek Becker, who is meant to be a sort of necromancer from the underworld, and even talks about all the gigs he has, and even mentioning about the other gods and everything else, and even sees a book which he says, "And what did you bring me?" "Oh, sorry, a delivery guy asked me to bring you this." You didn't tell him my name, did you?" "Yeah, he said you didn't need to sign." And we see how he tries to kind of tell him to drop it on the floor, and we learn to our surprisement that it's a giant creature, with him saying, "Okay, newbie, lesson 1, don't take anything from anybody." "Okay, got it." And this is the story. So I feel issue 2 definitely tries to add in a new ball game. Again, we do kind of see how Freddy is eventually going to become the new Captain Marvel, and we would eventually see Mary Marvel sort of coming back, but in a darker uniform during the events of 52 and also Final Crisis. And I know the point of the new 52 was meant to put Billy Batson back on the status quo and changing his name from Captain Marvel to Shazam due to legal issues with Marvel. So I think this issue deserves a thumbs up. Still good and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.